starting this vlog as I mean to go on, which is cozy and getting ready to read. Hey everyone, my name's Chloe, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being here today. Today's video is the start of a new weekly reading vlog. It is the 2nd of May at the minute, so we're just starting our May TBR. Although actually I have already read one book for May. I read the entirety of The Unhoneymooners yesterday. I talked about that in last week's vlog. But yeah, off to a good start, and I'm hoping I'm going to carry this on because I have quite an ambitious TBR this month. Like, my actual TBR is normal, it's quite short and it's got a mixture of fantasies, contemporaries. It's quite an easy one actually. I'm less daunted by it than I was last month, where I honestly had no clue what I was going to be reading. But I also just have a ton of contemporary romances I'm really in the mood to read, and a lot of them fit the Royal Readathon prompts because I'm taking part in Royal Readathon this month. So I'm trying to really just power my way through as many of these books as possible. I really want to sort of get really out of my slump, because I was definitely slumping previously, especially because I've just been announced as one of the team captains of Marvelathon, which is happening next month. So I want to be like completely out of my slump for that, because I plan on being as competitive as possible, because Team Scarlet Witch, we're going to win this thing. Anyway, I should tell you what I'm reading at the minute. I've just started, I'm about 3 chapters in to this one, which this shows you absolutely nothing. It is The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. Beth O'Leary, who wrote The Flatshare, which I really enjoyed. I've actually read all of her books, so The Flatshare, The Switch and The Road Trip. I liked them all. This one is about 3 girls who were each stood up on Valentine's Day by a man called Joseph Carter, and it's figuring out what's going on there. And I'm intrigued so far. I've just read like 1 chapter from each person's perspective, so I'm just intrigued to see how it all fits together. But we will see. I will keep you guys updated. I'm going to go and read now though. Hello. I'm going to do a really quick update because I don't really have the energy to update at the minute. But I've just been editing last week's vlog, and I had a big chunk where I didn't film any update for like 3 days. And I don't want to do that again. So it is Tuesday. I went back to work today. I slept for a grand total of 3 hours last night. I am very tired. I started listening to the audiobook of Dragon Haven today, which is the 2nd book in the Rainbow Chronicles. I am enjoying this so far. It's picking up right where Dragon Keeper left off. It is basically just the 2nd half of that book. So I'm enjoying it so far. We'll see how it goes. I have read a little bit more of The Road Trip, but not very much more, because I read it on my lunch break, but then I got distracted. I have edited 2 videos. I've edited my Marvelathon announcement, which should be up by the time you see this video, so I'll link it down below. And I've also edited last week's vlog. That is now uploading, ready to go up tomorrow. I just need to make a thumbnail, which I could potentially do in the morning before I go to work, because right now I just want to read. That is my update. I'm going to go and read The No-Show. Did I say that's what I was reading? Did I just call it something else? If I called it something else, it wasn't that. I'm going to go and read The No-Show. Bye. Another low energy vlog update, but it is Wednesday evening. I have read some more of The No-Show today, probably about another 40 pages. I was hoping I'd be able to actually like power through it and have it nearly finished tonight, because I am enjoying it. It's one that I can't really talk about too much because I think there's going to be a twist, and I'm pretty sure that talking about anything with this book is going to give it away. But basically it's about 3 girls who all get stood up on Valentine's Day by the same person. And that's pretty much all I can say. So I'm enjoying it. I think I've guessed what the twist is, but I'm happy if I have guessed it, because it'll mean like I'm less likely to hate some of these characters. But yeah, like I said, I hoped I'd be like a lot further in, but then I got distracted listening to musical soundtracks, mainly things that have Jeremy Jordan on them, because why not? So I've been doing that, and I also did listen to some of Dragon Haven. I'm up to, I think, chapter 6 now, which is like 180 pages in, so I made a decent dent in that. I'm enjoying it. It's definitely, because of the way it was published, it's basically the 2nd half of the first novel. It is definitely in that sort of middle bit where I'm just kind of waiting for what will be the big climactic scene. So I'm sure we'll get there soon. But yeah, sorry for the low energy. But I'm gonna go now and read some more of the no-show. I actually stopped filming this clip and I remembered tomorrow is exciting though, because tomorrow, straight after work, I'm going to go and see the new Doctor Strange film. So there may not be much reading, but I will get to go and watch Benedict Cumberbatch in IMAX, which is great. Hello. It is Thursday evening. It's fairly late. It's like 20 to 12 at night. I should be going to sleep soon because I have work in the morning. But I wanted to come on an update. I haven't read that much today, probably like another 4 chapters of the no-show. I feel like I'm reading like a fair amount of chapters every day, but not actually getting into it. Not getting into it, so not enjoying it, just like not making progress in how much I've actually read. It feels like I'm still like got quite a lot left, even though I feel like I am reading it. It's a bit strange, but I am still enjoying it. Still think I know the twist, but haven't had it officially revealed yet. But the reason why I haven't read that much today in particular is I went to the cinema after work. I went to see the new Doctor Strange film, preparation for Marvel-a-thon, because this one featured Scarlet Witch quite a lot, which is my team, Team Wanda. Join the winning team, people. Watch the video I posted last week for the prompts and my pitch to get you all to join my team. But yeah, I went to see Doctor Strange. I am not going to go into spoilers here because I am not a person who likes to spoil these sorts of things for others, but I did really enjoy it. It had a different vibe than I expected it to, but it was really good. It's not like my favourite Marvel film that I've seen recently. That's still Spider-Man, obviously, but it was very fun. And I mean, I love Benedict Cumberbatch, so any excuse to watch a film with him in 2 hours is great. But yeah, I don't have coherent thoughts. I did actually manage to form some coherent thoughts earlier. I messaged Becca and Liv, both went to see it tonight. So I told them both to message me when they'd got out of the cinema. Becca finished it like 15 minutes after me, and then Liv was like a couple of hours later, and they both messaged, and I managed to form coherent thoughts when I was speaking to them, but now it's all gone out of my head. So I should probably go and sleep. I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Hello. It is Friday. I have more of a substantial clip to film today because I have thoughts on things. Basically, I'm going to break this into a few parts. We're going to start with part 1, which is reading, because this is a reading blog. I have read some more of the no-show. Basically, I've been waking up and managing to read a couple of chapters before I go to work every day, which is not normal for me. Normally, I don't read in the mornings, but I've been doing that. So I read a couple of chapters before work this morning. I'm clearly about to get to the twist. We're finding out some of the backstory of some of the characters now, and I'm very much enjoying it. It's going to be hard to talk about this one without talking about spoilers. Like I said, I don't know the twist for definite yet, but what I think is happening is going to, I think, make me feel better about some of the stuff that's happened earlier on in the book. But the problem with how that's set up is that for a lot of this book, I'm not feeling comfortable with some of the stuff that's happening, and I just don't know if I'm going to be able to sort of switch my brain over to what I think is going to happen later on. It's making absolutely no sense without spoilers whatsoever, but yeah, just the setup of this is making it very hard for me to figure out who I like and who I don't like, because there's people that I want to like but I don't trust them. And yeah, this sounds like I'm talking about like a high fantasy. I'm not. It's a contemporary romance, but there we go. Other reading things. This one is actually high fantasy. I have read or listened to more of Dragon Keeper by Robin Hobb. I am enjoying this one. As I said before, it's definitely like you can feel like it's the middle of the book, even though it's still technically the first part of the book, because it is the middle of what should have been one large book of the first and the second one in the series put together. Going in a slightly different direction than I expected it to. I thought it was just going to be like a bit of a travel book, like a lot of Robin Hobb books are, with these dragons. And now there's just some discussions that I wasn't really expecting. But I am enjoying it. I'm actually quite liking this one. I think I prefer this one to the last one, which is good because I gave the last one 4 stars. So maybe this could be a vibe again. We will see. But that's his reading updates. My other updates that I have, we've done books. Let's go on to theatre, because that is what my channel is, books and theatre, we all know this. The cast recording of the Broadway cast of 6 came out today, and I've just listened to it and I thought it was going to be really jarring. Like, I was a bit unsure of how 6 would sound with American accents, because like the accents in the 6 cast recording, if you've ever listened to it, are very like specific English accents. Like they're based on certain singers. So like you listen to Don't Lose Your Head and it sounds like Lily Allen. It's very like they're very like said like over the top British accents in a way. And I didn't know how it would sound with American accents, but it was a lot less jarring than I thought it would be. There's a couple of words that they had to change, and that pulled me out of it a little bit, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. But the main thing that I really love about this album is that it's a live cast recording, so it's actually from opening night, and it means that you get to see all the little like nuances in the songs a lot more, because my favourite Queen is Catherine Howard, and her song is just kind of like a slow breakdown of her character, because she's been treated really badly throughout her life by all the men who just want to use her. And when you listen to the original cast recording, it just sounds like a pop song, like it's very up-tempo throughout the entire thing, whereas when you see it on stage, you see this sort of slow breakdown and you understand sort of what it is that's happened to her and what it's done to her. And you can hear that because it's a live recording, so it has the action in it as well. And yeah, I really like that. And also it has all the little bits that aren't in the original cast recording as well. Like it's got the little in-between song bits, and it's got the Mega Six, and yeah, I'm just very, very much enjoying it. That is my review of the 6 Broadway cast recording. And then the last thing to talk about, the very exciting thing, is that today the team captains videos for Marvel-a-thon went up. So I will link all of the other team captains down below. Why you would want to join any of their teams, I do not know. Go back and watch my Scarlet Witch video and join the winning team. There's been a lot of smack talk on Twitter already. It's really funny because then like we have a Marvel-a-thon WhatsApp chat, and we're all being nice to each other on there and like celebrating things that are going well. And on Twitter we're just trash talking each other, because of course we are. But no, I've had a really good evening today watching everyone else's videos, because I hadn't seen any of them other than mine until they went up. So I watched them all, left a comment on everyone's video saying that if you want to join the winning team, come and join Team Scarlet Witch, because I'm recruiting people obviously. But yeah, watched all those and then just been hyping people up on Twitter, and it's been really fun. And you probably noticed my clips earlier on in the week were very low energy. I have not having a good time whatsoever at the minute in general, and that's why I've been very low energy. I know I've mentioned it before, but I've been trying not to talk about it too much. I've still been trying to update, and it's difficult, it is. And today, like, this has got me really excited about June, and it's got me really excited for this readathon, and I feel like this is kind of exactly what I need at the minute. So I'm going all serious at the end of this random clip where I talk about books, my review of the 6 on Broadway cast recording, and then some truth talk about mental health. This is a strange clip. I'm gonna go now, and I'm hoping to finish the no-show tonight. I haven't said that, but I am. I also bought some books today, but I'm too comfy to get up and show them to you, so I'll probably show you them tomorrow. I'm going to the theatre again tomorrow, by the way. I'm going to see Bat Out of Hell, so I will bring you along with me to that. I'm just gonna go. This is a strange clip. Hello. I was just getting ready to go out and I realised I'd not actually filmed a vlog clip today, so I thought I would come in, say hello, because I have actually finished a book now since I last spoke to you. I ended up finishing it last night, but I woke up and finished it this morning before I went out, because I've already been out once today. I went for breakfast with some friends from work, and yeah, before I went there, I finally managed to finish The No-Show by Beth O'Leary. I gave this one 4 stars. I did really enjoy it, especially by the end of it. The other thing is that again, it's difficult to talk about without spoilers, but the way that the plot of this one is set up, until sort of the big reveal moment, you're not entirely sure how to feel about certain characters, so it was hard to enjoy some of the moments, because I don't know if I was allowed to be rooting for these characters, if that makes sense. And it's not until you figure out like who's in the right and who's in the wrong that it all kind of comes together. But I did enjoy it, so 4 stars. I'll probably enjoy it more on a reread, because obviously I will know where we're at with each of these characters. But I have also started a new book. I've only read like 2 chapters of it so far, because I read it on the bus on the way in, and then on the way home I just watched YouTube videos because my brain was not in a reading mood. But I started It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. This one I got yesterday from Waterstones. I'd ordered it in store and I went and picked it up yesterday. So I'm going to be starting that one. I'm enjoying it so far. It's supposed to be inspired by the TV show Schitt's Creek, which is one of my favourite TV shows, and from the very start I'm reading Piper, the main character, as Alexis Rose, and I'm loving that. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Right now though, I'm off to the theatre because of course I am. I'm going to see Battle of Hell tonight. It is one that I'm not sure if I'm going to love. I'm going to see it just because why not, but it's not necessarily my type of show, but hopefully I'll be pleasantly surprised. So I'm going to go and get some food first. I'm going out with my mum for food first, and then we're going to go to the theatre. I'll probably update you guys tomorrow with thoughts on that, and also hopefully some more thoughts on It Happened One Summer. I have no plans tomorrow. My parents are out, so I'm just looking after the dog, whose birthday is today, by the way. Harry's just turned 9 today. But yes, it's just me and the dog in the house tomorrow. So I'm hoping I'm making a fair dent into It Happened One Summer. Hopefully I can kind of do what I did with The Unhoneymooners last week and just power through it all pretty much in one day. We'll see what happens. Okay, I apologise for the snoring again because Harry's being very loud just off camera. It is now Sunday morning, and I have updates, not of the reading kind. I have not read much. I'm up to like chapter 5 in It Happened One Summer. I'm enjoying it so far. Not much has happened. Piper has moved to Westport, the town that she has to go and live in. And yeah, I'm liking it so far. But my updates are on my theatre trip yesterday, which is perhaps the worst experience I have ever had in a theatre. Right, let's start with the actual show itself, because I wasn't a fan of the show. I did think going into it that I wasn't sure if I would like it. I went to see Battle of Hell, as I said, which is a musical which uses Meatloaf songs from the Battle of Hell albums. I think there were like 3 or 4 of them maybe. As you can probably tell, not a massive Meatloaf fan. I knew the singles, but I've never really listened to the albums. I was going because my mum wanted to see it, and also because it's a show that obviously I've heard of before, and I had heard good things about it, so I was like, okay, I'll go and see what it's like. The actual storyline, and I use the word storyline quite loosely, it's in some sort of like dystopian world type thing, where these teenagers that I think they lived on the streets. I couldn't quite tell because the storyline wasn't really explained too much during the show. It just kind of starts and you just have to get a picture of it. Basically, these teenagers are frozen at the age of 18 and are never going to grow up. So there's 2 main characters, one called Strat, who is the male main character. He lives with these sort of never-aging teenagers. And then there is a female main character called Raven, and she comes from money, so she is living with her family, who I think her dad kind of controls the city. But again, it was never really said. Like, his name kept getting mentioned, and it kept getting mentioned that the frozen teenagers, like, didn't get on with him, but they never really explained why. But anyway, basically it was her 18th birthday, and she's interested in these frozen teenagers and wants to, and meets one of them, Strat, for all of 10 seconds and is madly in love with him, and they're going to get married. It's all very, like, convenient and quick. And it's literally just about her trying to run away with him. But there's not really any reason, like, given as to why they're running away or what the actual threat is. It's very strange. There's songs just kind of thrown into it without any actual reason for the songs being there. They don't fit into the storyline, or it is just a case of, let's get this Meatloaf song into the show. And then the actual, like, dialogue and things in between and the story setup is just very non-existent and very melodramatic and ridiculous. And, like, I don't think the actors were bad actors. Like, they were all very good singers. Their vocals were good, but the acting in between felt very stilted. But I don't think it's the actors' faults. I think the lines are just so bad that nobody could have delivered it in a good way. But anyway, that's my rant review of the actual show. let's get on to the audience, shall we? Because that was what made it bad. Like, if I had not liked the show, I'd have come out and said, yeah, it's not for me. I can understand why people who like his music enjoyed it, absolutely fine. But the audience just were the icing on top of the cake for this particular theatre experience. Basically, we went in and it was a lot of people who were clearly there because they were Meatloaf fans, which is completely understandable. It is a musical using Meatloaf's music, not a problem. But I did very early on get the feeling that a lot of these people had perhaps never been to a theatre before and didn't really know like the etiquette of going to a theatre. Because standard rule, although you do know these songs, fair enough, you may sort of want to like tap your feet along to them a little bit. You may get a little bit excited when one of your favourites comes on. All well and good. But at the end of the day, the performers on the stage are there to tell a story. They are acting. It is not a concert. Audience participation is not required. You should be watching these actors give a performance and give them the respect to let them do the performance without you joining in, mostly off key, sat in the audience. Like, it's just not a thing that you do at the theatre. It is not a place for audience participation. And before we went in, we stood in the queue for the toilets and there was an announcement made by Sheffield Theatres saying, like, tonight's performance is going to start in 10 minutes. Please don't take any recordings, all of the normal stuff. And then at the end it says, the company have asked us to politely request that you do not sing along during tonight's performance. Now, that announcement doesn't always happen, but it tends to happen for kind of like the jukebox musical shows because obviously, like I said, people tend to know the songs and don't always realise they can't sing. But I've had that announcement happen before and it's been fine. Like, we went to see Dreamgirls and that announcement got made, and we went to see Six and that announcement got made, and people didn't try and sing along because that's not what you do. When we stood in the queue for this, there's a woman in front of us who got very angry that they had said that and was like, what do they think we're going to do? Not enjoy ourselves? And just started on this rant about it. And I was like there quietly whispering to my mum, well, it's because you come to a theatre, not a concert. Like, they just respect the performers, please. And so that's kind of set it off on a bad foot from the very beginning. And then when we went in, there were still people all around us talking about the fact that you're not allowed to sing. And I'm just like, this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good. And throughout the entire first act, there are people singing very loudly. The woman at the side of my mum was dancing, but like not just like tapping her feet along. She was like full on like headbanging at the side. She was doing this. And it was, but like very dramatically, like she was practically bent in half doing it. It was very strange. Very loud. They were all very drunk when they went in as well, which wasn't fun. That also meant that they all had to get up regularly throughout the show to go to the toilet or to buy more drinks, because of course they needed to keep the alcohol level topped up throughout the entire show. So people constantly getting up and down. It's just not a nice atmosphere. You're not able to take in a lot of the show. It's a good job I didn't actually like the show. Then at the interval, they all go out and buy more refreshments because of course they do. And they come back in and the woman next to my mum asks my mum, was I singing really loud during the show? And she's like slurring her words all over the place, clearly very inebriated. And my mum, not the best at holding her tongue, so straight away she was like, well, it was a little bit loud, not gonna lie. And and the woman told us that she'd been told off by the staff basically for singing too loud. And it seemed to be that actually quite a few people around us had been told off by members of staff and told that they needed to keep it quiet during the second act. My first question is why it took till the interval for them to say anything, because by this point you've let people get used to doing it. If you'd have tried to tell them as soon as they started doing it, maybe they would have stopped. But anyway, gets to the second act, everyone's a little bit quieter. But the second act has got a lot of the sort of big numbers that everyone knows. So I think it got to Dead Ringer for Love, I think was the song it was. And everyone's very excited about it and they all start clapping along. And the singing just got so out of hand. Like, I couldn't hear the people on stage. It was not good at all. And there were two people in particular sort of behind me and to my right who were getting really loud. And at this point, there ended up being 3 members of staff stood near where we were sat, because we were like on the second to back row and near the aisle, so like we could see all the staff sort of grouping around. One of them at the end of it looked at this guy sat behind me and was just like, come on mate, let's just stop now, please. And this was after there had been a conversation actually during the interval that I'd overheard with one of the members of staff, with the woman sat next to my mum. And she was explaining to her the reason why they asked not to sing. She was like, at the end of the day, people are paid money to see these performers on stage. And said, not only that, but imagine you are the performer on stage and somebody has paid money to come and see you sing, and they can't hear you because of everyone else in the audience. Like, the music isn't as loud as when you're at a concert, so if people are singing around you, that is all you can hear. So yeah, that song happened, was very, very loud. But then for some reason, they waited another like 2 songs that were quieter songs, because that's the other thing. People only actually seem to know the big singles, so they're all so excited to sing along, but clearly they're not the sort of fans who know like every single song. So in the songs they don't know, they just sat talking instead, which is fantastic. So it's sort of 2 songs later, when they've been talking afterwards, that finally the members of staff actually came and tapped the 2 of them on the shoulder, the 2 loudest, and got them to leave. At this point, there's only 3 songs left in the entire show. Why did you not do that earlier on? It was just bad. And like I said, I'm hating the show anyway. And then this is the audience experience. And it got to the end and they sort of did the last number, which was I Would Do Anything for Love, which I knew that song was long and I knew it was repetitive. It wasn't until I was in that experience that I realised quite how long and repetitive that song is. But anyway, they sang that. They came on for the curtain call. We stayed for the round of applause. But then they started singing Bat Out of Hell again. And everyone then, because at that point, actually, you can sing. When it gets to like the encore after the curtain call, a lot of shows, especially like the jukebox musicals, do tend to do a number where you're kind of encouraged to get up and dance and sing. And this is happening now with a lot of more modern ones that even aren't jukebox musicals. Like Six has the Mega Six, where you are told to get your phones out. They literally say at the beginning, get your phones out, you're going to want to film this. And then people are allowed to sing along and dance. It's absolutely fine. They had that moment built in to stop it from happening earlier on. So yeah, so that's happening. But at this point, we're just so angry with everyone around us and we had a bus to catch. So as everyone's like drunkenly dancing around us, me and my mum were just like, we're just going to go. And then we had to go past like 3 people on the end of the aisle to leave. And they gave us like the most weird looks because they were like, oh my God, I can't believe you're leaving now. And it's like, yeah, I'm done with this. We actually considered walking out at the interval, which I do not do. Like, I even if I'm not liking a show, I will stay to the end out of respect for the actors that have put on this performance, because they're nothing against the cast whatsoever. It was just a bad show with an awful audience. And yeah, I didn't think I was going to rant this long. I've been filming this clip for 13 minutes. I thought this would be a quick, like, 5 minutes me talking about what happened last night. But, oh, yeah, it was not good. Right, I'm going to go back to reading because this may be happier for me. But, yeah, there we go. Hopefully next week's theatre show is going to be happier because I'm going to see the Cher show next week, which obviously is another jukebox musical and could have a similar thing. But I think maybe the fans are going to be different at the Cher show. So fingers crossed. Hopefully it's fine. Blue, we'll see. Hello. So it's now Sunday evening. I thought I would just come in and wrap up this week's vlog with some good news in that I finished another book. I read basically the entirety of It Happened One Summer today. But the bad news, unfortunately, is that I didn't love it. Not in the way that a lot of other people seem to. I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't an awful book, but I felt like the romance in it all happened very quickly. They were sort of professing love to each other and acting and deciding that they were never going to leave each other within a very short period of time. And yeah, just couldn't buy into it like that because I felt like I never really saw the relationship develop. And then the other thing was that I've read a Tessa Bailey book before. I've read Fix Her Up, and I gave that one 2 stars. And I was hoping, going into this one, that because I would like the story more, because I thought I would like the story more because it's inspired by Schitt's Creek, which is one of my favourite TV programmes. I thought that would sort of overpower the things that I didn't like about the writing, which is some of the smut scenes. There's just a certain way that she writes things and like words and things that she uses that I just find a little bit cringy. and apparently that carried on in this book, and it was as soon as I was reading it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember what I didn't like about this about her writing style the first time that I read anything by her. So yeah, not the best. I preferred it to Fix Her Up, definitely, hence why it's the 3-star, and that was 2. Part of me at the end of it still wants to carry on and read the next one, because I did actually like her sister and the love interest that she's going to have in the second one, which is Hook, Line and Sinker. Part of me wants to read it, but I know that there's still going to be those things that I don't like about her writing style, so there's probably no point in me trying to read it, but we'll see. Maybe I'll end up just putting the audiobook on for something quick to listen to at some point. But yeah, it's a little bit annoying because I'm probably going to end up unhauling this one fairly soon. I mean, luckily it didn't actually cost me anything. I used a voucher for it, but still, just a little bit meh when you've been like looking forward to a book and then not really liking it, especially when you've got friends who are hyping it up and then it's just like, okay, sorry, this one isn't for me. There's been some like not great end clips to this vlog, because obviously I had the rant about poor theatre etiquette and now a book I didn't enjoy. But other than that, it's been a good week. Obviously, said Marvel-a-thon things happened this week with the Captain videos, and the reaction to that has just been amazing to watch. It's carried on over the last couple of days. And actually, I should probably say hello to any new subscribers, because I think I've had like 50 new subscribers over the last week, which is a lot. Like, I think it's the most I've had in one single week, and I know a lot of that is off of the back of Marvel-a-thon announcements. And so thank you to all the new subscribers. And yeah, it's going to be fun times in June. I've started planning my TBR, like sort of in my head. I've got plans. I still need to play a TBR mesh, but I have planned of what I want to get on there, and I've just reserved some books from the library as well, which are going to help be quick reads for some Marvel-a-thon points. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This week mainly consisted of me very slowly reading the no-show, not being able to explain it to you because it's hard to describe without spoilers, and then reading a book I didn't love and having a not great theatre experience. Next week should hopefully be better. Next week, I have already started reading another book, but I'm going to talk about that in my next vlog. And I have said another theatre trip next week. Vlogs following that, I have some really fun theatre and concert trips planned, so you're going to have to watch the next vlogs for those. But thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff down below, and I will see you next time with a new video. Bye.